Hey everyone, let's go over the subject of hydration. Sounds like a basic thing, really it is, but as so often is the case in this world, it's the basic things that are the most missed out on or overlooked. And this one I'm convicting myself as well. So let's start there, a little bit of personal story time before I get into signs of dehydration that you may or may not have ever heard of, and some issues that you will encounter when you go to fix it and what you can do and things of this nature. So my personal story. The last time, in fact, that I had to go to a doctor for anything, this was about 20 years ago. I thought I had a serious kidney infection because my kidneys were hurting and I was feeling bad. And this went on for days, so finally it wasn't getting better, and I said, okay, I must have some kind of bad kidney infection. I'm going to go to the doctor. So I go to the local doctor and I tell her, hey, I think I got a kidney infection. They're just hurting like crazy, you know? And this has been going on for days. So she's like, okay, well, let me run some tests. So she ran some blood tests or what have you. And she comes back and says, no, you're not infected with anything. And you're not, there's no virus, there's nothing. And she had the wherewithal to say, you know what I think it is, you're seriously dehydrated. So she lays me out on a table, puts me on an IV, and puts a big old bag of electrolyte water into me. By the time that bag's done going in me, my kidneys aren't hurting anymore. Wow, right? You would think lesson learned. Because I never felt thirsty. I never had any idea I was dehydrated. So that was really eye-opening. I'd like to say I had the wisdom at that age to rearrange my lifestyle to face and confront and resolve that issue starting then, but I didn't. So here I am 2 decades later and I'm finally doing it. Now guys, I have thousands and thousands of hours in research and experimentation and application in practices involving health. And I've been very, very successful upgrading my health more and more and more and my knowledge over the years. But again, sometimes it's the most basic things you go overlooking. So, finally, got a hair up my butt to address this issue lately. Not because my kidneys were hurting or anything. It's like I finally just matured into enough wisdom to, deal with something so basic, but so overlooked rampantly. And we're going to get into that, how people are chronically dehydrated without knowing it. So a little about my recent activities. About 3 weeks now, I've been consuming probably around 2 gallons of water a day. This is kind of a rough estimate, and I've got myself into this habit where it's easy now. Every time I pee, I drink a big old drink of water, and even more than what came out. Okay, and I'm adding high quality essential oils, a few drops to each drink of water I have. They drastically increase your oxygen element in your body. So not only am I enhancing my water element, I'm enhancing my oxygen element, which is 2 out of the 4 physical elements, right? I'm upgrading those two heavily right now. There's only one essential oil company that we have any positive experience with and believe in and even became members of. And you can find that on our WordPress website. It's linked in the box below. It's called Earth Roots Healing. My wife and I run that together. There's information in there about which essential oils we use and even a financial as well as health opportunity if you're interested. As well as there's more information about this issue. She's blogged on the issue of hydration, and I would suggest that you go over there and check it out to add to this picture. So a little more with my personal story. So I've been drinking all this water, hydrating myself. Here's some interesting things I've noticed. And sure enough, I went and Googled around a bit. I'm not the only one who's noticed this. Ironically and interestingly, you start drinking all this water, and at first you're like, wow, this is way more water than I'm thirsty for, but I guess I'll do it because I'm on this quest, right? Strangely enough, after a little while, your body starts to realize, this is my chance to finally get hydrated. I'm becoming more thirsty, okay? Now this is normal, it's not alarm, it's not a negative thing, this happens. My body's waking up and realizing after decades of being in a desert somewhere, it's finally time to get hydrated. So it's utilizing the water. However, my body's not holding the water yet. I'm not even becoming hydrated yet. My skin is as dry as ever, and I'm more thirsty than ever. Isn't this interesting? I'm also noticing interesting detoxification symptoms that are different from all the various other detoxes that I've done and do on the regular. This actually excites me when I can actually get more of a detox than through all the other amazing detoxification methods I use and have used. For example, there's these funny little white cyst type things that have been appearing on my face, and they're easy to scratch off, but that tells me that something that no other method of detox that I've undergone so far has been able to get to is happening now through hydration. True hydration therapy. This is exciting. There's been a few nights where my kidneys hurt, okay? Finally being hydrated more than ever, but my lymphatic system is cleaning out so much junk in the form of liquids that my kidneys were getting singed or hurt by how much junk they were pulling out one night. It only lasted for about an hour, but it's just an observation. I know enough to know what's going on there because I've done other intense detoxes that hit the kidneys hard before, and I know what that feels like. So there's a lot of cleaning and cleansing going on here. Now, as more of that cleaning and cleansing occurs and the body figures out how to rebalance itself, I will be getting more actually hydrated. And there's some other things we're going to go over here that help with that. It's not just water itself. There's other things in your diet and lifestyle that'll help to become hydrated. But I just wanted to finish up with my personal story, just sharing, and use the thread below to share your stories if you want to. That's always good. I enjoy it, and other people do as well. So please share if you have something to share on this issue. But I'm just pointing it out that even someone who's very, very advanced, perhaps so advanced in certain health practices, that he's completely overlooking some of the most basic things. Think about the 4 physical elements we're made out of, right? Earth, fire, water, air. Now your body is like 70 to 80% water. So how important is that one from a physical perspective? And you look around at people, and a lot of people say, well, I'm already retaining water. The last thing I want to do is drink more. And of course, this is a backwards understanding. What you don't realize is that because your body's been dehydrated so long, it started hoarding and not letting water go through. So it's not cleaning itself, and now your lymphatic system is a disaster. Because all that water you're retaining, it's like sewage water, okay? No offense, but it is. This is just reality, guys. It's a survival thing. Your body realized years, maybe decades ago, holy shit, I'm going to die from dehydration, so I'm going to hold on to every little bit of water I can to survive this desert we must be going through, since the person occupying me isn't giving me any water. So it's a survival mechanism. So anyway, I'm on that personal quest. One thing I've noticed, as mentally sharp as I am according to modern intelligence tests, my mind is working better. And it's working better in ways that are special and unique to the individual. I've had several powerful realizations of clarity in my life lately about how to reorganize certain things, about how to redirect my efforts to be more true to myself, okay? I couldn't see these things before. Your mind is like an energetic battery, and every time you improve your health, you'll realize certain things about your life that help you to improve it more. This is a very good sign. My mental function's improving. And that's on the list of things we'll get into here in a minute about, well, let's start. Let's start on this list. Let's go over, well, one more thing. I wrote down a few key notes, things you might not realize. And that is that we all assume that when you're thirsty is when you should drink. And of course, in an ideal world, that would be true. That would be accurate. Problem is, we've been living far from ideal for a long time. Because your body's been parched in this desert, it has desensitized itself to its own thirst. So when you're experiencing thirst, that's an emergency thing. That's like when you're really hurting. You're really hurting for water, and you have been for a long time. I think all of you understand what desensitization means, and that's what's occurred here. You're just desensitized. Your body has become desensitized to its actual level of dehydration and thirst. So you can't let, you have to mentally realize what's going on and then step up and take action here. You can't let your thirst guide you on this. It's not working. Chronic dehydration is rampant. You can easily Google this and look it up and find all kinds of articles, videos, anything you want explaining how rampant it is. And it is. There's probably very few people in society who are actually fully hydrated where they should be. And many people are hurting bad. Let's get into 5 common signs of dehydration. So I only picked 5 here. And a couple of them you probably know, maybe, or at least one of them on the list perhaps. But some of these even surprise me. They don't really surprise me, but it illuminates the situation. And I like the connection that it makes because it helps you start to understand the body more as a holistic organism. Number one's headache. Now, this is the one that I think most people who are health conscious at all have heard of and realized. Sometimes when your head's aching, if you'll just drink a bunch of water, that headache goes away. Now, that is like emergency level dehydration when your brain is hurting. That's the same as when you have a hangover and your brain hurts because it's dehydrated. The alcohol chased all the water out of your body and acidified your brain. It's literally in pain. Your brain's in pain. Okay? Same with this. Dehydration headaches, your brain is in pain. Okay? It's loose in your cavity up here. It's this dried out thing with space around it in your skull, and it's got inflammation, all kinds of issues. How well do you think your brain's working under those circumstances compared to what it could be? Common sense thought, right? And that's next on the list. Another common symptom, impaired mental function. Of course, what's the issue with that? When you have impaired mental function, you don't know you have impaired mental function. You just think your brain works as well as it does. You don't realize it should be working a lot better than it does. And in a world where there's a lot of unconsciousness leading to destruction of the planet and everybody's lives and all these things we need to wake up on, look around you guys. You notice the impaired mental function? This is one more serious reason why, okay? Number 3 on the interesting list out of 5. Allergies, okay? Now in the past I struggled with allergies a lot. Severe allergies, and most of mine were fixed simply by giving up dairy. But a lot of people, that's not enough. They still have allergy issues. That is because as you're chronically dehydrated, your histamine levels, which causes inflammation, they go up in your body. And your immune system and its ability to function and regulate properly, that goes down, okay? So as all that occurs, you're dealing with a lot more allergy-related symptoms, okay? Number 4 on this interesting little list. Yeah, digestive issues, okay, including acid reflux and constipation. Now those are rampant, right? So you can go and, well, perhaps I should do that in another video. It turns out that taking antacids is absolutely the opposite of what you want to do. And it leads to other further negative chronic health conditions. But like I said, that's another video. Let's not confuse this video. But yeah, acid reflux, constipation, and a whole plethora of digestive issues which are rampant in society, and you may know what I'm talking about. How many of you are struggling with some kind of digestive issues yourself? The ones that are aware, and many who aren't, you are. Your digestion could be a lot more optimal than it is. So dehydration, chronic dehydration, directly linked to digestive issues. And number 5 on this interesting short list, unhealthy food cravings for things like sweets and salty tasting things, right? And that roller coaster, you know that leads to bad health, right? If you're health conscious at all. So if you'd like to reduce your cravings, hydration. And that brings up one more thing I've noticed in my personal journey lately. My hunger for food is just way, way down, okay? And personally, I'm cutting a lot of weight right now for athletic reasons, so this is helping me. It's making it very easy. I'm already an intermittent faster. I only eat once a day, and that's easy for me. But normally, that one meal, I just eat like a beast. I eat more food than most people would eat in an entire day. And now, I eat one moderate meal, and I'm just satisfied. I don't even want to eat anymore. So clearly, my digestive efficiency and the efficiency by which my body's able to use nutrients is way up. Because it turns out the water element was what was really lacking in this equation, okay? So now let's go over some key things you need to realize when it comes to getting hydrated, okay? Because like I said, it's not just about drinking a lot of water, and it is going to take time. You're not going to get hydrated in one day, guys. I've been at this for 3 weeks now. I'm still not hydrated. My body's still in the cleaning stage where it's making up for years and years of not being able to clean the lymphatic system properly. Some of you know I do all kinds of other healthy things to clean the lymphatic system, and they all help a lot. Things like dry brushing and rebounding. Major lymphatic hacks that improve your health. However, I was still missing perhaps the most basic key element, being hydrated. So I'm playing catch up now, and my body's flushing and flushing and cleaning and flushing, and when it's ready to, it's going to start hydrating better. Some things that are going to help with that are natural healthy electrolytes. Some of you have heard me say before on perhaps one of my sauna related videos that if you're going to use a thing like sauna or exercise to sweat out toxins, that's great and all, but that's only one side of the coin. You need to be able to get your electrolytes back in, because you're losing electrolytes when you do that, and water, okay? How many of you have noticed this? You try to get hydrated, but your body won't hold on to any of the water. So you need a high level of balanced, healthy, digestible electrolytes. Electrolytes means minerals, okay? Now the four most basic pillar minerals are magnesium, calcium, potassium, and sodium. And a proper balance of those in the right forms, the right elemental forms, and there's going to be more information on that. Again, check out our website, check out the continued videos they're going to be releasing on this channel to understand more and more about proper forms of minerals. There's a lot of junk being sold out there as minerals. It's just industrial byproducts that somebody's trying to make extra money off of because technically it's calcium or technically it's sodium, but your body it's not, it's poison. So you need to get these things from natural healthy dietary sources and natural healthy food-based supplemental sources, okay? So in order to hold on to the water and hydrate properly, you need to be on top of your electrolyte game. Also, you need healthy carbs. That's why they're called carbohydrates, okay? They help your body hold on to hydration. I do mean healthy carbs, not bullshit carbs, not sugar, not the stuff that's killing people. Healthy, natural, organic, food-based carbs in your diet, in your life. You know, preferably a wide variety of healthy vegetables, both cooked and uncooked. That's going to basically help you be covered on both things, on healthy carbs as well as natural electrolytes. Or it's going to get you a good head start. Now, depending on where those food sources are grown, they're still, even organic foods are often grown in depleted soils. So you may still need healthy food-based supplemental forms of electrolytes to get your electrolytes up to optimum levels, which makes the electrical conductivity of your body and mind work much better, the way it should. And it's also going to help you hold on to the right amount of water. And I'm not talking about water retention where you look puffy. That's actually dehydration. That's a problem. I'm talking about the water getting inside your cells where you want it, where it makes you have well-being and health and vitality and a better mind and body. Chronic dehydration, by the way, for those of you that are athletes, plenty of studies you can look up out there that show that people don't realize they're chronically dehydrated, but your tolerance to heat shock, your endurance, all of it is way down compared to where it could be. And athletes sweat more than anybody, so a lot of times they're actually more dehydrated than even, you know, people that just live in a cubicle, and even they're severely dehydrated. So think about that, okay? It's a big deal. One of the major performance benefits, you know, people take illegal drugs and get kicked out of sports because it gives them a 5 or, you know, even like a 2% advantage performance output. You're going to get a lot more than a 2 or 5% performance advantage just by hydrating your body properly. And it's going to add to your life and your clarity instead of taking away from it, okay? Again, it's the most key things that we overlook in the world because of all the distractions we were born into on this planet. So I use Mike's story to share, guys, so you don't think I'm being arrogant, like, oh, I do all this right, you don't. No. Anybody's overlooking certain things. This is one of the big key ones, okay? So you got your healthy electrolytes, your healthy carbs. Now let's talk about a healthy source of water. And my wife did a really good blog on this on her website. You should check it out. That's one of the big deals, one of the reasons, especially in cities where there's treated water, one of the reasons you stopped drinking it a long time ago is because it's horrible. It's chemical. It's poison. So if you're going to embark to hydrate yourself, you need a good source of water. Okay, that is absolutely key. I'm not going to go into explaining a whole lot of that because, you know, we have a website for that. Check out the website, check out the blog. There's resources there to help you understand that. We go over how we get healthy water, a few ideas for you. You have different options. There's natural springs that you can look up that have the right kind of water in them. There's a lot of well water sources that have good water. There's other well water sources that have an imbalance of hard minerals in them, so they're not ideal. You need to educate yourself on this. But almost anything would be better than what most of you call water that you're stuck with living in a city, because the powers that be have agendas, okay? So you got to educate yourselves on this a bit. Establish a healthy source of water for yourself, then embark on your hydration quest, okay? I will not encourage you to be polluting yourself, putting chemicals in your body trying to get hydrated. It defeats the whole purpose. It poisons you. There's a reason you don't crave water right now. Most of the sources you probably try to drink, they don't taste right. Furthermore, I've noticed this in my recent water quest. It took me about a week to start craving water because my body forgot that it's a water-based organism a long time ago. Pretty sad, right? When you don't crave the right things anymore. Anyway, check out the blog. Check out the website linked in the information box. But yeah, you need a healthy source of water. That is key. What else here? Any other key notes? When you're drinking an actual healthy source of water for a while, just like with me, you'll find you start to crave it. And that's when you're moving into stage 2. Stage 1 is just teaching your body and teaching yourself the habit of consuming enough of it to start correcting the imbalance. Stage 2 is when you start to crave it. Okay? Stage 3, the way I'm breaking it down from my research, is when I notice that my skin isn't dry and flaky anymore, which means we're finally achieving actual hydration. Okay? I'm already feeling better, and my brain's working better, my body's cleaning out things. And I'm already much cleaner than most people because of all the intense detox I do. But that's the good news. No matter how far you've leveled up your health, you can always take it a lot further. But sooner or later, if you want to be truly healthy and vital and be a shining example of what radiance is in a world that knows nothing about that, your water element has to be addressed. It's huge and it's foundational. So, I think that covers it. This video is over 20 minutes. That's long enough. If you're dehydrated, your brain's probably not able to focus long enough to even pay attention to a 20-minute video without lapses and distractions and all that, right? Yeah. So let's get going on this, guys. Establish your source of health, your healthy source of water, your healthy source of electrolytes, your healthy source of carbs, and embark on your water quest. It's one of the 4 elements. By mastering this one, your health can go up at least 25%, perhaps more, since most of your body's made out of water, right? Boom. Motivation, inspiration, join me. We're all going to look a lot better and feel a lot better and think a lot better when we master our water element. Much love, Health Jedis. Over and out for now.